So we are discussing about the reply to the address at Madura. This is the second part. But beyond this, there is a still greater difficulty. There are two sorts of truth we find out in our Shastras. One that is based upon the eternal nature of man, and the one that deals with the eternal relation of God, soul, and nature. The other with local circumstances, environments of the time, social institutions of the period, and so forth. The first class of truths is chiefly embodied in our Vedas, our scriptures, the second in the Smritis, the Puranas, etc. We must remember that for all periods the Vedas are the final goal and authority, and if the Puranas differ in any respect from the Vedas, that part of the Puranas is to be rejected without mercy. We find then that in all these smritis the teachings are different. One smriti says this is the custom and this should be the practice of this age. Another one says this is the practice of this age and so forth. This is the achara which should be the custom of the Satya Yuga, and this is the achara which should be the custom of the Kali Yuga, and so forth. Now, this is one of the most glorious doctrines that you have, that eternal truths being based upon the nature of man will never change so long as man lives. They are for all times omnipresent universal virtues. But the Smritis speak generally of local circumstances, of duties arising from different environments, and they change in the course of time. This you have always to remember, that because a little social custom is going to be changed, you are not going to lose your religion, not at all. Remember, these customs have already been changed. There was a time in this very India when, without eating beef, no Brahmin could remain a Brahmin. You read in the Vedas how, when a sannyasin, a king, or a great man came into a house, the best bullock was killed. How in time it was found that, as we were an agricultural race, killing the best bulls meant annihilation of the race. Therefore, the practice was stopped and a voice was raised against the killing of cows. Sometimes we find existing then what we now consider the most horrible customs. In course of time, other laws had to be made. These in turn will have to go, and other smritis will come. This is one fact we have to learn, that the Vedas being eternal will be one and the same throughout all ages, but smritis will have an end. As time rolls on, more and more of the smritis will go, sages will come, and they will change and direct society into better channels, into duties and into paths which accord with the necessity of the age, and without which it is impossible that society can live. Thus, we have to guide our course avoiding these two dangers, and I hope that every one of us here will have breath enough and at the same time faith enough to understand what that means, which I suppose is the inclusion of everything and not the exclusion. I want the intensity of the fanatic plus the extensity of the materialists. Deep as the ocean, broad as the infinite skies, that is the sort of heart we want. Let us be as progressive as any nation that ever existed, and at the same time as faithful and conservative towards our traditions as Hindus alone know how to be.
It's a long paragraph, no doubt, maybe in 3 or 4 points. Just you can state it, don't explain. Just state it. What did you understand?
Maharaj, can I tell?
Yeah.
First few words. Swamiji talks about the Vedas and Smritis. Vedas, those are the eternal truths which are always, which are universal and always remain unchanged. And about Smritis, the Smritis, those are the practices of the ages that keeps changing, and like that.
Okay. Then anything else?
And
Okay.
If
Anyone wants to add?
if there is any conflict between the two practices, then we should always follow the Vedas. That is important.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
And uh, the smritis was the practices that depends on the environment and time, and keeps on changing. And but what the truth in the Vedas that are eternal. And Swamiji says that he wants the inclusion of everything and not the exclusion. He he said that he wants the intensity of the fanatic plus the extensity of the materialist. So that is also important.
okay.
and also being progressive, and at the same time being faithful towards our own traditions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so more or less we cover. Now, when we make this, when we study how to make notes, for example, here Swamiji is making a simple statement. When I say statement, Vedas are the primary scriptures of our Hinduism. Vedas are the primary scriptures of Hinduism. Smritis are the auxiliary texts to the Vedas, are supportive texts to the Vedas. If there is any conflict between Vedas and Smritis, Vedas will prevail, or Vedas has to be followed. The teachings of the Puranas are contextual. It changes based on time, circumstances, society, etc. Okay. And if the local customs change, religion is not going to perish. Local customs differ, and if they change, religion is not going to perish. Example, eating cow, beef. Beef eating once upon a time was allowed, now it is banned in Hinduism. So one should be progressive and faithful towards one's traditions. So are you done now? So Swamiji is giving a beautiful history of India, where Indians failed. So we speak of Vedas, we are speaking of Advaita Vedanta, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, everything is Brahman and the oneness, but At the same time, there are so much divisions based on the caste, based on the customs and whatever. They are all fine, but that should not be the important part of our religion or of the society. That's where the problem came. And here Swamiji is telling, Vedas are backbone of our country, of our religion. Why? Because it is speaking about the universal truths or the primary truths. For an example, Satyam Vada, speak the truth. Dharmam Chara, follow the dharma. Svadhyayanma Pramadaha, never leave study. Never give up study. I have done my education, I am working, so I give up study. No, that should not be. So the eternal values, primary values should be intact always. And the secondary values keep changing. For an example, we are wearing a dhoti, at least South India and even in Bengal and all, kacha dhoti was there. With kacha dhoti, if you travel in Europe in the winter, you will get problem. Now, if I don't wear kacha dhoti, then my religion is going away? No. That's where always, at least nowadays it is not there. 50 years before, there used to be a tussle between the seniors and the youngsters. You are not wearing kacha dhoti, our religion has gone. No. And if I eat onion, my religion will go away. No. Or if I eat pizza, burger, religion will go away. No. So all these limitations, untouchability, and a very strict, unnecessary importance to given about food, about customs, was over importance was given for the small things, and our religion was boiled down to kitchen. That's where Swamiji says. That is where we have to be careful. In the olden days, we used to go by walk or palanquin or a horse carriage. Now we don't go. Someone asked for a Swami, you go in a car, why? He said, because if I go in a palanquin like in olden days, then to come to your function, my dear, it will take 3 days. So going in a car, because earlier Swamis were going in a palanquin or a walk, that doesn't mean that I should do now also. That no. That's where, at least I don't know here, I mean in Bengal, in northern part of India and south part of India, there were a lot of questions to Ramakrishna Mission. Why? You meet anyone and everyone, and you eat food and all type of food you eat, and you go to devotee's house and you eat food and all. So monastics are not supposed to maintain, I mean, they're supposed to maintain very strict discipline about the food and other things. So that's the reason we were called Bhangi sadhus, means untouchable sadhus. Among sadhus, we are untouchables. We were untouchables. That's how it was called 100 years before. Now, why did Swamiji made all these things? Was he against Hinduism? No, he knew that. So the purity, the renunciation, and the Vedantic way of living, that was intact in Ramakrishna Mission or Ramakrishna Mission monks. Pure life, renunciate life, life of renunciation, life of detachment, life of service. These are the primary values for a monastic life that was kept intact. But external things, whether you can wear stitched cloth or not, whether you can use mobile or not, whether you can go in the car or a vehicle or not, whether you can use only garva cloth or not, and traveling across the sea, all these secondary details, these were changed by Swamiji. Swamiji traveled, he crossed the sea. That is the reason now many of the monks are coming. Why? Because Swamiji broke that rule, now we are all coming. As a result, Swamiji, when he returned to India, when there was an arrangement, Thakur Utsav, Sri Ramakrishna birthday celebration was arranged in Dakshineshwar, because Sri Ramakrishna lived there. When all devotees, monks and Swamiji came, the Dakshineshwar authority didn't allow Swamiji to enter Dakshineshwar temple. Why? Because you have crossed the sea, you are not entitled to come. You have lost your religion. Anyone would have been quarreled, but Swamiji said, all right. And he went back silently. He asked the people to, celebrate the Sri Ramakrishna's Jayanti, and he came back silently. So who Swami Vivekananda dedicated his life for the betterment of India, for the betterment of Hinduism, for him, that respect was given by our own people. But still, he gave his life for the betterment of society, betterment of country, betterment of human beings. That is where Swamiji is. His heart is magnanimous. So that's why Swamiji is telling. So hold on to that universal truths, primary truths, universal values. The secondary details keeps changing. And in southern part of India, now things have improved, no doubt. When we were small and all, my dear, so much untouchability was there. Now this untouchability exists in every religion, in every country, in different ways. In some it is based on monetary, if you are rich and poor, and some based on the race, color of the skin, in some it is caste or religion. So in every country it was there, in India also it was there. Swamiji is telling, in the southern part of India, in the Madurai, where very hardcore culture, orthodoxy was practiced, there he is telling, my dear, change yourself. Imagine what a Swamiji had, a strong heart. So in the southern part of India, where this orthodoxy was so, powerfully, practiced in those days, imagine 125 years before. So there is telling that get away from these small things, petty things. So you see Swamiji's boldness, abhi, fearlessness. And if there is any difference of opinion between Vedas and also Puranas, then what should we follow? Vedas should be followed. We should reject the Puranas. And this is told by Shankaracharya also in his Kathopanishad, I think, in the commentary in the Kathopanishad, he tells this, he mentions this. And also, if you see, why Vedas are scriptures? Why? Oh, because seniors say so, Rishis say so. Because Vedas are actually what? There are so many things which may not be very pertinent to us, we may think. But in overall philosophy of Vedic philosophy, if you see, they are going with the nature. So we will understand how the nature works. For example, yes, when we come to Calcutta in the summer, oh my dear, one is hot and other is what? Humidity. We feel like dying. I can keep on complaining. But what Vedic view of life says, oh my dear, this is what the nature creation, Isha Srushti, understand, accept and go forward. You might take care. You might use fan, you might use AC, or you might have to take few times bath, or you might have to take water with sugar and salt to maintain your salt and other things in the body. Never mind, but accept it. Don't react it. All seniors we say, including us, oh, Amadir Shama Yerekum Chilona. Our time things were not like this. And my mother said, my father said, my granny said, and my great-granny said, everyone is saying that my time was not like this, my time was not like this. I tell my children, and my children will tell to their grandchildren. See, the dialogue is common, but things keeps on changing. And ki korajai, what to do? We have to exist like this, we accept it. So this complaint mode will go away if you study Vedas, if you understand Vedic philosophy. That is what the Vedic view of life. They always used to go along with the nature. Prakriti, we say in Sanskrit, it has got different meanings. So you will go along with the nature. Why the Rishis were so happy? It is not that everything, whatever they wanted, everything they got. No, they understood the nature and they started living along with the nature. As a result, they were contented. They were happy. 20 years before, myself recently I was thinking, 20 years before, what all my possession was? One big bag. In one big bag, whatever I got, everything I could put it and I go. That's it. That was my possession. Now it has been increased. But I was so happy at that time. Am I happy now? Maybe or may not be. When we were youngsters, we were thinking that if I get one job, if I get a good, study, if I find, then at the end I thought if I get a good job, fine. Just a minute. Sorry, I'm in a class. Okay? Sorry. So I thought I will get a good job enough. I will get a job enough. Then once you got a job, you will say that, oh, my salary should be okay. My salary is less. My boss is not good, or I have to travel a lot. Then that is taken care. Then I thought, okay, if I get a good wife or husband is fine. Okay, then children. Then children, if they settle, fine. Then children settled, then you think of grandchildren. If they settle, fine. And if the grandchildren settle, then great grandchildren you start. If you are leaving and if you have got all of them, I miss to say. So our desires is being keep on getting pushed. That's where everything I have got more or less, but I am not contented. A lady who is a 70 plus, she says, I have got a knee pain, Samji, I am unable to understand what to do. Why God has given, I don't know. And at this age, some or other problem will be there for us, the body. Because we have abused the body for so many years. This comes, you have to accept it. Holy Mother herself, as Adi Shakti, she herself had a rheumatism. We all study. What does it mean? When we take a body, when we assume take the body, we will get all these problems. We have to accept and go forward. Holy Mother never complained. This is what the Vedic view of life. So being contented, whatever we have got, and we should earn more, no doubt. We should seek more things, better things, no doubt. But at some point of time, we should put a framework and we should try to lead the contented life. Our brain is so hardwired, whatever I have got, I forget. Whatever I don't have, I keep on thinking and I forget whatever I have got and I don't enjoy my life. I've got a house, I've got a good family, I've got a good children. Maybe they don't listen everything, fine. That's fine. It is their nature, their life and all. But we expect that he should listen everything to me or she should listen everything to me. And we have got a good children. They have got their life. And they bring from different, the way we came up and the way they have come up, it is completely different. Society is changing now a lot. If they are good, fine. And why they should listen to me every time? And that's how our pieces are becoming pieces. First, I thought if my children are listen to me, fine. If they start listening, then I say they are not listening completely, not 100%. Oh, 50, 60% okay, but not 100% or not 80%, not 90%. And that's how our mind keeps on thinking what I don't have, and I lose my faith. I lose my happiness. See, there can be really problems in the house or in our life. I don't say no. But most of the times, it may not be. Some problems will be there. Some misunderstandings will be there. Some challenges will be there. Never mind. But that itself, we make a big thing, and we feel as if we don't have many things, and we keep on lamenting, commenting, or whatever. But the Rishis never did this. This is what I mean, Vedic view of life. That we have to understand. And there are so many customs and institutions keep on changing, that we have to accept. Okay. And this local customs and local circumstances is not the alpha and omega of the religion, that we have to be very careful. For this, sometimes there can be quarrels. Some marriages have broken because one come from the other community, another community. In our community, the marriage should happen like this. In other people say, no, in our community, a marriage should happen like this. So that where they quarrel for petty things and they spoil themselves or they spoil their peace or whatever. So these small things we have to change. And these things keeps on changing, that we have to understand. And now this beef eating, Swamiji is telling, it is very sensible issue and very matured way we should take. Now 2-3 things. Now, Ramayana time, Vedic time, beef eating was there or not? Yes, it was there. That we should be open and we should be clear. That doesn't mean that because Ramayana time, Mahabharata time or Vedic time it was there, that doesn't mean that even today also we should eat. No, because things have changed. So many things have changed. Society is not accepting it. We should understand and we should give away. Or we should recognize and understand and appreciate and recognize the social customs, whatever is prevailing today. We not to be too much fanatic, and we not to be too much open also, unnecessarily create problems for ourselves and for the society. Now, one more important point we should understand here, in those days, they used to take the food as a medicine. Alhadate, haramantat harati iti aharaha. The etymological meaning of ahara, food, is what? Aramantat harati. Aramantat harati iti aharaha. That which takes us to the source is what? Ahara. That which takes us to the source is ahara. That is the definition, means what? Which helps us to go to our source. Either you can say God, or the consciousness, or the Atman. How the food is helping us to go to our source? Because it gives energy so that we can meditate, so that we can think of God. So in those days, that's how they were there. Like us today, because I like it, my Gurudev used to tell, eat shamelessly and suffer silently. First one we follow, but second one we don't follow. We eat shamelessly, no doubt, but we don't suffer silently. So eat shamelessly and suffer silently, but no. In their cases, because Vishwamitra ate, Valmiki ate, Rama ate, Kausalya ate, that cannot be the example for us, because their mindset was completely different. In those days, food was taken as a means to support their body, not for the fulfilling the tongue, 3 inches tongue, not for sense gratification. There comes a story in the Bhavabhuti's version of Ramayana. I don't know whether in original Ramayana is there or not. The story goes like this. There was a, there were no rains at all. There were no rains at all. So for a few years, so everywhere there was a food scarcity. Food was had become very rare, and people were dying, animals were dying, and Vishwamitra also had to starve because food was not available in the forest in those days, because there was no rain. For few days he never had a food. Somehow he managed, and one point his body became so fragile he might die if he doesn't take food. Till then he was bearing. Then finally he went in search of food just to sustain his body. In the forest, he was searching for a food. Finally, he saw a hut. Late evening, he went there, and meat was hanging in the bag actually. And the family people had finished their food, and whatever the meat was available, they had stored in the bag, in the leather bag, and it was hanging in their hut. He went, and he didn't disturb any of them. He didn't ask. He took the bag, and he was about to eat. Then the owner of the house, he got up and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Look, I have to take some food just to sustain this body. I am sorry." Then that fellow understood. He said, "Okay, you take it little." And he took the food. Now imagine, he is about to die. At that given point of time, he has taken the food, but he didn't. What do we do at such point of time? We take and we simply grab. But even at that given point of time, with that fragile health or fragile body, he went out, he lit the fire, he invited Agni Deva, he did the offerings, whatever supposed to be done. He did the offerings, he offered the meat to the deity, and as a prasad, he took a piece and he touched his tongue. Immediately he got his energy. And afterwards, because of some miracle power or whatever, there were torrents of rains, and their problems got stopped, and everywhere water got stored, and again life rejuvenated. Now here, these are the small things which we don't understand. Simply our so-called intellectuals, they keep on commenting, or they keep on giving examples. Oh, Vishwamitra ate a meat or a beef, Rama ate beef, XYZ ate beef. But what was their mindset? What was their bhava? What was their attitude? These are the very fine things which we forget, which we miss. At that given point of time, he is offering the food and is taking as a prasad. That means how much control he had on his mind, how much willpower he had. Such type of willpower, such type of mindset people, even if they eat meat, beef, or whatever, even they drink, nothing happens. Or their mind doesn't get polluted. Our minds are not like that. And ahara means what? Whatever you take from your sense organs, everything is ahara. You are seeing a reel. For example, you are watching you are seeing Facebook and you are seeing some reels, either in the Facebook or Instagram post or any social media, whatever. Even because that food is given to your eyes, that is also food. You are hearing to music. Today I saw the status of our Chandrani. She was playing a music. So I heard from my ear. So that was also a food. So whatever you take from your sense organs, 5 sense organs of knowledge, everything is what? Ahar. So because again, one more problem is there. Quite a few people, at least 100 people have asked me, oh, Swamiji has told that beef was allowed in India in Vedic times. Is it true? Is it true? How Swamiji can say that? But unfortunately, we have got phonetic approach, but we don't understand the rationale behind all these things. And I mean, unfortunately, even the so-called radicalist or rationalist or the intellectual, so-called pseudo-intellectuals, they pick up Swamiji statements here and there, and they keep on quoting it, and our people get carried over. At least we are the followers. We should be very clear why he has told, what does he mean, and etc. So in those times it was there. That doesn't mean that Swamiji is telling again eating beef or pork. Eating beef should be allowed. He's not telling that. That was there. Now it has changed. So he's giving only example that how this local customs keeps changing. Now in Bengal, Brahmins eat non-veg, but in the southern part of India, that is a blasphemy. Then what should we do? When we come to South India, we should respect that customs, no doubt. That's what Swamiji is trying to tell. But that is not the alpha and omega of the religion. That is not the just religion means. It is something else. So give importance to the primary values, ethics, morality, and the truth, and all the honesty, and all these things. These are the secondary, tertiary values. These things keeps on changing based on time, based on society, and all. And one more, Swamiji is mentioning this Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, and all. Now, we all know that in the creation we have got 4 yugas. One is Kruta Yuga, then Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Now, based on the Bhagavatam, in one yuga, these 4 yugas are also there. What do I mean by that? In the Kruta Yuga, Kruta, Treta, Kruta, Dwapara, Kruta, Kali. So in the Kruta Yuga itself, there can be 4 parts. So in the Kruta Yuga, first part can be Kruta Yuga and Kruta Yuga only, completely Kruta Yuga. Then second is Kruta Treta. That means the religion or the mindset, the purity of the mind, human beings has come down. Then Kruta plus Dwapara means again it has come down. Kruta means Kali. In the Kruta Yuga itself, Kali Yuga is also there some part where their mind has come down and etc. Then which will lead to the next Yuga. So these are the small things. When we read Vedas and the Puranas in deep, you will understand. Now, what do we again get from this? What are we are supposed to understand is that the time is changing, and the society and the creation or the civilization has got its own ups and downs. Whether I cry or not, whether I lament and comment or not, things cannot change. Things cannot change means what? It has got its own ups and downs, ups and tides. Now, what should I do? Understand the situation, make use of this society, make use of this human life, and try to lead a good life and try to experience the truth. That is the first and foremost I have to understand. Second, if possible, I should contribute something to society, whatever is possible in a positive way. Second. Third, yes, struggling for the integrity of my religion, integrity of my society, whatever is possible, I should do it. But I should not unnecessarily get carried over. I not to become pessimistic or negative about all these things. What time has come, how things are bad, how people are bad, how situations are bad. It was not so earlier. This is a foolish idea. If everything was perfect, why Rama had to come? If everything was perfect, why Krishna had to come? If everything was perfect, why Narasimha had to come? Why, if everything was perfect, why Mother had to come as a Durga or Kali? Or if everything was perfect, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came? What does this mean? What does this tell? It signifies, yes, there were problems, there were challenges, even in the olden days. Maybe less or maybe more, that's all. So that's why there was no perfect world, there is no perfect world, there will be no perfect world. The moment we understand, our sufferings comes down, our negativity towards the world and its situations will come down. That doesn't mean that we should be insensitive. Understand the situations, try to improvise if possible, try to improve yourself and try to improve situations if possible. Then otherwise go along with that. Don't be too much negative. Don't get too much stressed from this unnecessarily. Why? The world is dog's tail. By trying to make it perfect, what happens? Someone asked, Swami, you are giving so many classes, so many talks. Do you think that they are able to understand? They are able to follow? I said, no, I am completely clear, 100% clear, no. Then they said, Swami, if so, then why are you doing all these things? I said two things. First and foremost, in this sense, at least I have to study. Now, if I'm giving a talk, whether you are all there physically, online, no doubt, but mentally you are here or not, I don't know. You might be thinking some problem in your house, or you might be thinking, oh, today your guests are coming, I am supposed to cook. So after this class, what will I cook? Or you have to, some guest is coming. If guest comes, what time they will come, how to welcome. Some things you will be thinking. You might be thinking or you might not be thinking. But at least for 1 hour, I am forced to not to think anything else except this. And for that, I have to prepare 1 or 2 hours. So I am doing a self-satsanga. One thing. Second thing, when I'm telling all these things, my mind questions how much you are trying to put into practice. So I am trying to do self-evaluation. Second thing. Third thing, yes, as a service, I am doing it. As a service, I am trying to do. So like this, when we take this attitude, then we can try to help the people, or we can try to serve the people, not helping, actually serving the people. By that, we can go better. We can become the contributor personalities. When you understand Vedanta, when you understand Vedas, and when you understand Swamiji properly, what happens? All these negativities gets reduced, so that our japa becomes better, our understanding becomes better, our mental oscillations, emotional oscillations becomes better. Or becomes better means what? Gets reduced. আমি এরকম ভেবেছিলাম কিন্তু অন্যরকম হয়ে গেল. We keep on saying this. We keep on saying this, but no. Who said you imagined something and afterwards, if you, according to your imagination, if life doesn't happen or if the society doesn't go, what is the mistake? It is whose mistake? It is your imagination or your thinking. So all these things, when I said Vedic view of life, when we study Vedas, Swamiji makes a statement to Premananji. Premananji asked, I think the day he passed away, same day he asked, why one should study Vedas? Swamiji said, by studying Vedas, your superstitions will go away. Swamiji has made this statement. We should think all these things. What does it mean? It means Vedic view of life, we will get it. What is that Vedic view of life? Go along with the nature. So all this negativity and misunderstandings about the nature, about the creation, all these things will go away. If God is all compassionate, if God is all merciful, why He has created this wretched world? Can you create a better world, my dear? No. So that's where I say our balance sheet and God's balance sheet never tallies. The debit and credit, whatever I think debit and credit, and whatever God thinks debit and credit, it is completely different. As a simple example, like you, one devotee, he had only one son. He was in very well-to-do. He was from Tamil Nadu. He was settled in Singapore. He was only one son, and they were all basically well. And his wife was also well settled. She was also a good practitioner, medical practitioner, whatever. His son, probably was 30s, nearing 30s. He came to India to see their granny, and he had undergone some operation because he was obesity was there. So he had removed the fat and other things. And he came to India, visited Chennai, and he met his granny. He was there for a few days. One fine day, he has gone out, and because of sun, you can imagine Chennai sun, and that too summer sun, Chennai sun, and he had been operated, and he had a sunstroke. Unfortunately, that was enough to pass away. Now imagine, only one son, And he had finished his education and he had started earning the money. And you can imagine the plight of the parents. He was said, Swamiji, what did I do mistake? I didn't do any mistake. I've never done any sin in this my life. I mean, consciously I know that, but why did Thakur do this? So his father was go on crying. He was go on crying for a few days. But after a few days, he came and he told me that Swamiji, now I understand why Thakur did. Whether Thakur did or not, but why it happened, I understand. Now, whatever, this was the only attachment I had in my life, that attachment also has been removed by Thakur. Now, this cannot be told openly, no doubt. But this is the spiritual seeker's understanding. That doesn't mean that he is thinking now. Earlier he was crying and now he's thinking that his son passed away, it was good. He is not thinking. He is not saying that. But you only said that. How he has given a spiritual perspective for that problem. That I had this only one attachment. Now Thakur has removed that attachment also. Now I can think of Thakur all the time. I have no problem. The pain he has, as a father, he has pain, he has undergone that pain, no doubt. It is there. It might be there even now, but as a spiritual perspective, he has given for that problem, for that challenge. So he is happy now. So this spiritual perspective should come for us. The more and more we study Vedanta, the more and more we study Thakurma Swamiji, and the more and more we meditate, this maturity, emotional maturity should come. Then problems may come or may not come. Even it comes, you will be able to absorb. You will stop reacting. That negativity will reduce. As I keep on telling that, from what you will travel to, so what. This is what I mean when Swamiji's, this lectures from Colombo to Almora. If you deeply study, you will be able to understand all these things. Understanding India, understanding Hinduism, understanding the world history, all these things one side. Other thing is, what is my view to the world, to the country, to the religion, toward oneself, and toward things happening. All these things you will understand. Then what happens? You will just keep going it. Now, Swami Vivekananda felt for India. Swami Vivekananda felt for our women. Swami Vivekananda felt for poor people. He dedicated, he sacrificed his life for all these things, no doubt. Externally, he was a contributor personality. But inside of his heart, he was so clear. This is the greatness. This is what we have to understand. Swamiji's heart, Swamiji's understanding. Otherwise, we get carried over by Swamiji's external circumstance, external utterances, how Swamiji felt for people, felt for country, just we get carried over. Yes, his patriotism, fine. He felt for women, he felt for women education, he felt for poor people, he felt for suffering people, all this is one side. But his inner court of the heart, what was that? It was filled with compassion, love, and that spirituality. That's why he was never negative. What a perfection. Imagine if Swamiji he stayed today, if we all go and stay with Swamiji, can we stay with Swamiji? Most of us would have run away. Because the amount of perfection they expected, the amount of things they expected, we cannot lift ourselves to that. But still, they bore everyone. They understood everyone and they bore everyone. They try to, help everyone. Because what that compassionate heart. Because his mind was filled with positivity. And at least we should try to inculcate this positivity as much as possible. Then only we can be the disciples of Swamiji or the followers of Swamiji and followers of Thakur. It is all, practice. Everyone has to practice, that's all. Again, I'm telling you, terms and conditions apply in the quotes. By this, world is not going to change. The family is not going to change. Situations might not change, but you will change. I will change so that I will be peaceful. Or the oscillations, emotional oscillations will come down. Yeah, okay, too much is happening, okay. And Swamiji is asking us to how to develop one's personality. He is asking, one has to be broad like sky and deep like ocean. The phonetic people, orthodoxy people, generally, they will be very deep like ocean. Means they know about their dharma, they know about their culture, they know about their traditions, more or less. They will be deep in there, whatever the things they know, in that they will be deep, but there will be no broadness. That's why in the name of religion, they kill people. by food or in the name of food, in the name of cloth, or whatever, in the do's and don'ts. And some of these rationalist people, they're very broad, but they're very superficial. That's what we can see in the secularists, in the rationalists, in the so-called, all these things they tell. They were all very modern and etc. They're very they're broad, no doubt. They're very superficial. Swamiji is asking us, we should be broad and we should be deep, like sky and the ocean. This is a beautiful thing which we all can see in Swamiji, Holy Mother, or even Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother, in those days, when Nivedita came, Swamiji himself had his own concerns, his own things. How Holy Mother, because she comes from a rural background, uneducated lady and a Brahminical lady, how she will accept the foreigners. But it was for Swamiji, it was a miracle. It was beyond his imagination. She welcomed Nivedita, Sara, Volleyball and all, as if they're like own children, own daughters. You see, Holy Mother was so broad. And she was so deep about the culture and all. Whatever the local cultures were there, everything she used to follow. So she was so deep like an ocean, and she was broad like a sky. This is beautiful. Swamiji life, Thakur life, and Holy Mother life, when you take and when the statements we keep as a Siddhanta statements, and when we study their life, we can understand so many things from them. Okay, next para. We will try to finish it off. Just 2 paras we are not able to finish in 1 hour lecture.
In plain words, we have first to learn the distinction between the essentials and the non-essentials in everything. The essentials are eternal and non-essentials have value only for a certain time, and if after a time they are not replaced by something essential, they are positively dangerous. I do not mean that you should stand up and revile all your old customs and institutions. Certainly not. You must not revile even the most evil one of them. Revile none. Even those customs that are now appearing to be positive evils have been positively life-giving in times past, and if we have to remove these, we must not do so with curses, but with blessings and gratitude for the glorious work these customs have done for the preservation of our race. And we must also remember that the leaders of our societies have never been either generals or kings, but rishis. And who are the rishis? The rishi, as he is called in the Upanishads, is not an ordinary man, but a mantra drashta. He is a man who sees religion, to whom religion is not merely book learning, not argumentation, nor speculation, nor much talking, but actual realization, a coming face to face with truths which transcend the senses. This is rishihood, and that rishihood does not belong to any age or time, or even to sex or caste. Vatsayana says truth must be realized, and we have to remember that you and I and every one of us will be called upon to become rishis, and we must have faith in ourselves. We must become world movers, for everything is in us. We must see religion face to face, experience it, and thus solve our doubts about it, and then standing up in the glorious light of Rishihood, each one of us will be a giant, and every word falling from our lips will carry behind it that infinite sanction of security, and before us evil will vanish by itself without the necessity of cursing anyone, without the necessity of abusing anyone, without the necessity of fighting anyone in the world. May the Lord help us, each one of us here, to realize the Rishihood for our own salvation and for that of others.
So here, So in the last para, Swamiji has told how to develop our personality. We should like a deep like a ocean, and we should be broad like a sky. That's the one thing he gave a clarion call for all of us. We have to develop, we have to think and try to develop. Now, the what you say, the second thing Swamiji is telling that he is giving again one more clarion call that we should be rishis. We should try to become rishis. That is our idea. Who is the rishi? Who has dedicated his life to experience the truth. You can call God, you can say Atman, Brahman, consciousness, unity, reality. You may use any words, but the truth, the ultimate truth, is not just a theory or argumentation or speculation, it is an experience. And these people have experienced that. They are called rishis, and the Vedas have come from that rishis. That possibility that everyone can be rishi, that possibility is there in every one of us. So we have to strive. We have to strive to become rishis or rishi patnis. And also Swamiji is telling very clearly one more thing is that all old things are useless. We keep on thinking that no. At this given point of time, some old customs may not be useful, may not be relevant. Fine, but we will leave and we will try to get to the new things. But that doesn't mean that we should criticize it. At some point of time, that were the life force of the people. It has saved the country. It has saved the civilization. It has saved the people. Now it has become old. It has become outdated. For example, Nokia phone was there, small phone, which was a keypad. So 15 years before, that was the luxury for all of us. Today, young children, if you give, what? This type of phone, were you using it? What nonsense. How can you use this type of phone? Fine, but that time, that was the thing. So like this, so every system, every culture, whatever the customs and all, you know how to curse them, you know how to deny them, and you know how to unnecessarily negatively comments on that. At some point of time, they were required probably. They bought some good for some people, no doubt. But now it is not relevant or prevailing. We can leave it, no doubt. But we not to be negative. We not to be unnecessary, critical. That's what Swamiji is telling. So what type of outlook one should have in the society and in these practices, customs and all. And we must have faith in ourselves. We must become world movers for everything in us. So self-confidence is very, very important. If we have got self-confidence, we can face the challenges. We can rise above the problems. Otherwise, problems become big and we become small. But when you have got a small self-confidence, problems become small and you become. So I'm just telling, yeah. And Rishihood, if you attain, then you can be the world mover. Because your mindset is different, your personality will be different, you can think at your will, you can really discover things, and you can integrate your personality, all these things. So our ideal is what? Attaining the Rishihood. And the Rishihood also can be said that, what is that Rishihood? That is, they are deep like a ocean, deep as ocean, and broad like sky. And the Rishis are called mantra drashta, means mantras were revealed to them. Mantras are what? The secrets, the universal secrets. The universal secrets were revealed to them. They discovered, they invented. Yeah, thank you.
Maharaj, that story you told about the Vishwamitra story, a similar story is there in Chandogya Upanishad also, no?
Yeah, I mean, there are like in Rigveda, there's a reference, in the Taittiriya Brahmana, there's a reference, and in few places there's a reference, no doubt, yes. In the Valmiki thing is there a reference, and also I think in the Ramayana, once I think people come to Valmiki ashram, like the kings and queens, based Raghukula dynasty, even when they came. So the two Rishikumaras will speaking that today we have got a guest. That's why we have got a feast. So what is the main menu of the feast? That is the bison. I mean, male buffalo, you say bison. Bison or the ox was the feast. And Swamiji also gives a very rational thing. Why this probably cow, I mean, what do you say, killing, cow slaughtering became prohibited because the cow was an important thing for us for the milk and for the agriculture and other things. Now the best bull, best cow, if you go on eating, slaughtering for the meat is not acceptable. So they made a rule that we should not slaughter the cows. And initially as a necessity they made, afterwards it became the part and parcel of religion, and customs and practices came into play. That doesn't mean that Swamiji is, encouraging or is telling that we can kill the cows. He's not telling that. He's only giving the rationale behind that. Yeah.
No, I am not talking about that beefeating. I am talking about that incident, that like Vishwamitra, that one that rishi went for there was a drought and all, so there was no food. So he went to some pariah's house, Chandal's house, and asked for this food because those were eating that meat. So he took the some part of the meat, and even from there he kept half part for his wife, but he didn't take the water because he told that food is scarce, so I can take the food from here. It is allowed in the Shastra, but since water is there, I can get water from other sources, so I cannot take water from you. Like that
Oh, yeah.
Chandogya Upanishad, that one story.
Maybe, sorry. Right now I'm not able to recall. Maybe there, yeah.
And
I have to yeah.
this line that I want the intensity of the fanatic plus the extensity of the materialists, that is what you told, that intensity of the fanatics means that deep like the ocean, that part.
Yes. Deep as a ocean and broad as a sky.
Extensity of the materialist means broad. Even they are accepting everything like.
Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. So if anyone else is having anything to ask.
Yeah, any questions from anyone?
So Maharaj, when can we have our next class?
Okay. July over. Then 6th is not possible. Okay.
Maharaj, I have a question. That just sometime before you said that there are those things in our Vedas that never give up study. The Sanskrit words, what you had said, could you please repeat?
Svadhyayanma pramadaha. It comes in Taittiriya Upanishad actually.
Swadhanyanma.
Svadhyayanma. Svadhyayanma pramadaha.
Pramadaha. And the first one you said speaks truth, Satyam Vada, and the second?
Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara.
Yeah, Dharmam Chara. Okay. Thank you.
Maharaj, can I ask?
So it comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, Shishyanushasana. Yeah.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Maharaj, I just want to say that, okay, we understand that change is the way of life, and what during the course of your lecture you said that it is we who should adjust to it, the new changes, and accept it. So I am asking, there is another method also. Either you accept it or you withdraw from it. So the second option is applicable or not?
No, see, that doesn't mean that we should accept every change. If the change is for good, if that is a good change, if the change is good, yes, you can accept it and try to adopt also. And the change is not good actually, it is not a good change, then what to do? If possible, if there is a chance for you to tell and to convince the people, okay, look, whatever you are doing, it is not good, it is not right, it doesn't go things properly, please change. All changes are good. No, we don't mean that. Isn't it? For example, in the without bath, or without brush, doing brush and all, we never used to take anything. Now this bed coffee, bed tea has come. Now that is not a good change actually. So then change is inevitable. So this change has come. No, this is not a good change actually. So I will not do first point. Second, if someone is doing, I can tell on health grounds, we are not supposed to do it. We should do at least, if not a bath, we should do brushing and we should take anything. And if they don't listen, then you would, you not to do it. You not to follow that. So that change, all changes are not good changes. But change is inevitable, no doubt. Some are good changes, some are not good changes. That we should have, that we should be clear about these things.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So
Yeah, so next.
13 into the class or?
Okay.
Okay, so if there is any change, I will let you know. Yes,
Yeah, Vishwa.
Sorry, Pranam Swamiji. Coming back to this topic of change, all the Upanishads are dealing with the Brahma Vidya and the nature of God and all that. But is there any instance or in the Vedas or in the Upanishads where they themselves talk about change? Like for example, Vedas are timeless wisdom. But regarding the prevalent customs in the society or these things and how they need to change.
No, yeah. So Vedas don't speak about it. Only Smritis, they speak about it.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
So because, see, in India, or rather in the ancient days, they were very clear about the roles actually. Now the Vedas had a specific role. So they are very clear about it, that roles they are doing it. So this how to, whether to eat or not, how to eat, when to eat, and whether should be before bath we can eat or not, after bath should we eat or not. All these things comes as a way, is a like a lifestyle, marriages, society, this caste, varna, all these things comes into Smritis. Smritis are Dharma Shastras.
Okay.
So they were the like a constitutions. Today we have got a constitution of our country and all. So like that, they were the codes set by different people. Now, for example, in the Bengal, most of the rituals we follow based on the do's and don'ts is our Raghunandana Smriti. Now that Raghunandana Smriti is what there. And if it comes to South India, there's the Apastamba Sutra and one more sutra is there. So we follow that actually. So like that, again, from area to area, it changes things.
Okay.
These are all part of Smritis and the Dharma Shastras actually.
And I have one follow-up question, Swamiji. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna talks about, or has there are verses where he talks about different kinds of foods, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, and all that. These concepts, do these also come from the Vedas and Upanishads? Yeah, it is a good question. I think, no, we see, because Bhagavad Gita itself is a Smriti Grantha. Yes, yeah. Bhagavad Gita itself is a Smriti, okay. Now there he's telling, he's giving a broad classification, rational, sattvic food, rajasic food and tamasic food, which is simple, easily digestible and which is good for your health. Good for health, physical health, mental health is sattvic food, which is more spicy, more oily, more, you can say more sweety, all these things, which makes you docile, which makes you hyperactive, obese, and all these things are rajasic food. Then extreme things, it is a stale food, extreme bitter, extreme things. Extreme things are like it is a tamasic food. He's giving a broad things and all. I don't think these are based on Vedas, I suppose. These are based on the Smriti Granthas. Okay, so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. As I know, as I understand, just once more I will think and I will try to also refer. If anything is there, these things are available in Vedas, then I will probably clear in next class. If I find anything else, references like these things in Vedas, then I shall let you know. Okay, so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jai Ram Krishna.
Jai Ram Krishna. Pranam Swamiji.
Jai Rama.